Welcome, residents, to the Dr. DC podcast. My name is producer Richard, and across from me is the doctor himself.
Yeah. I'm thinking I'm Doc.
Cool. Oh, that was
Listen,
nice.
As is kind of tradition.
We record episodes after DocMas.
This is the final regular episode of the year, and it's recorded after DocMas. So you're getting us at our best.
Oh, yeah. I shit my brains out today.
Yeah, I didn't have an insane day where I went across town for a meeting that was actually exactly where I was before I went across town.
Yeah, how did that feel?
Ugh. So stupid.
I
Such a bad first impression.
had a leadership coaching session today.
You were leading it, or you were learning?
I was
you were
learning.
being coached on leadership.
Well, it was more of a consultation to decide if I wanted them to teach me how to execute.
How do you turn everything into you having the power? Like, tell me why you should teach me leadership. Like, how do you do that?
Because they have to earn it if they want it.
But then, it kind of feels like you don't need the coaching then.
I mean, isn't that right?
All right. Well, I made a mistake complimenting you, so.
We were talking about something that could have been in my limitations, and then I said, like, people think it's crazy that I make so many systems out for...
Yeah, the only thing that's a limitation to me are the physical laws of the universe.
But I think there's an equation to figure those out.
Yeah. But you brought up the...
Yeah.
I've been told that I make too many systems.
And I've, have controlling issues, and so that I need to...
Yeah, I mean, that even just the idea of saying, I've been told, and not, it's objectively true that I have these issues,
What
is so fucking telling.
just because I texted you yesterday, and I was like, I think I might have an idea to figure out how much my time is worth.
Like, you just abjectly refuse to just enjoy life. You got to think about whether or not every moment of your life is, quote, worth it. It's so fucking insane.
I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, you've already figured it out. It's not.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's not, but we're all just stuck here.
Yeah. But while we're
Because the
here,
real currency is courage.
and you've got...
Well, no, if I had it, hashtag sweet release. Don't worry. I think it's pretty obvious. I don't have it. There's always another week of the show.
Yeah, it's true. The courage I have is showing up every week.
No, like, nice try to spin it. I think we're both just cowards who can't admit that it'd be better if we were dead. Anyway, this is a fun episode for us to do.
Here's a 5-star review. Number 264 from Reddit.
Yeah, 264 and final.
From Loser.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. Review. Absolutely a 5-star podcast. If you're looking for the best podcast to learn about DC Comics and laugh while doing it.
Why did you say it like that?
Because they wrote capital letters DC and then capital letter C, capital letter O.
I don't mistype.
Yeah, no, not at all. Too bad. You get second best.
Also, fuck you. Is the best what, Jaffe?
Because then 52 pickup, I get it.
I get it. Yeah, it's pretty good.
But seriously, Doc and producer Richard are a great comedic duo, and with Doc's deep knowledge of the world of DC, you have the formula for an award-winning podcast.
Oh, yeah, and Richard had the word formula.
I fucking got hard as rock when you said that.
I'm aware.
Yeah. Thank you.
I don't know why we're sitting on the same chair, but I noticed.
1, 2, 3, formula.
Oh my gosh.
Finished. I have been listening for months now and have loved every episode I've listened to so far. Thanks, guys.
I mean, that just doesn't sound very discerning.
Fair.
I don't love every episode.
I mean, I certainly...
And I did them.
Yeah. And you listened to them after.
And I listened to them after.
I do not.
That was stupid.
When are you going to start? At least you're prepared for this episode.
Why can't you be Jaffe?
Yeah. I'm glad you prepared for this one.
Oh, yeah. You too.
Yeah. Yeah, but the expectation isn't on me. I just get to chill out and drink my wine. Thanks, guys, and I hope you have a great rest of your year. Hashtag last year of the podcast.
Yeah, every year could be.
Speaking of the final night.
Yeah. Yeah, my God. We're, well, thank you for the review. It's very nice of you, if undiscerning. My problem with your review, too much of a blanket compliment.
Get specific or get fucked.
It feels fake until you tell me where I could do better.
Yeah.
Like everyone else that listens.
Yeah.
Constantly giving me fucking notes.
Name one time they've
And
ever...
I'm fine about it, by the way.
I'm glad you're chill about it.
I'm cool with the notes I get about the thing I make.
I don't know the context, and so in my mind I made it up in my head.
Okay.
But I've been watching the Google Docs notes go back and forth between you and Ryan for the DocNers.
Oh,
DocNers. Yeah. And I love when I see like denied like comment from Ryan, or like you wrote something and he denies it.
Our system has been, because like all the people on the doc scored put the nominations for it, but we got to narrow them to 5 for each category.
Sure, yeah.
But our system this year has been doing it one at a time, saying like what the 5 should be, like if they don't have like the most number of votes to make it in as a nominee or whatever. And some of them are like yep, and then there's a couple where it's like absolutely not, and then I'll come back and be like, I'll kill you if it's not this. And then he comes back and be like, how about if I give you this, you give me that? Like, it's been it's actually been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed it.
It's been fun to watch you two go back and forth as it pops up on my email all day long.
Yeah. It's been fun.
Yeah. And I just like seeing him saying no to you, whose the show it is.
But the Docsners are Ryan's. And I even said, like, today I was like, it's the final round. You make the choice. I've made my case. I'd obviously like to get my way, but if the will of the council is otherwise, then that's fine.
Yeah, you'd like to thank the Academy.
Oh, I'll do something to the Academy.
Oh my God,
depending on whether or not I agree.
I don't like how much power we've given Ryan, because between the Docsners and music and the Discord.
What do you mean music?
Isn't the no, that's what I call.
No, that was Yokro.
Is that a different person?
Jesus. You're gonna do Yokro like that?
Oh.
Good Lord.
Yokro, it's Ryan, bro.
How dare you? Tuvix them together like that.
Nice.
Oh, I'll Janeway them apart again.
Oh my God, I'll show her the Janeway.
Easy.
I'll give her 7 of 9, give her 69.
Be like, I can only give you 7 of 9.
Yeah, can I give you 6 of 9? Do you want a 6 of 9?
Come on.
The final night.
The doctor is like, did you hear I like 6 of 9?
Aren't you a fucking computer?
God damn it. 6 of 9.
It's pretty good.
It's really funny. I hate that.
She's so hot, I'd like to 6 of 9.
It's just a Borg goes to its recharge station upside down. That's called 6 of 9.
6 of 9.
Feet up by the fucking electrical thing.
I'm the cutest of Borg.
Yeah. Oh my God. Is it 6 of 9? They're like walking through the cube. Be like, that guy's 6 of 9.
What a cube head.
Jesus Christ.
So the final night, a thing we both read.
Yeah. The final night. This was voted on by the Golden Agers. We're talking about this event. I want to clarify right now, based on what Richard is saying. I have read The Final Night many times.
Sure you did.
I did not read it before this episode.
But you skimmed it, so it's basically the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much... We all know how good my memory is. So we're in good hands.
Hell yeah.
But the funny thing is, Richard also did not read it for this episode. So I can't wait to get your hyper-specific questions about this event and then kind of vaguely go, I don't know, I think it was this.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was this that happened.
But this is what happens with the episode after we record DocMas.
Yeah, we're in a haze.
Name one time that was a good episode. Anyway, keep listening.
But also the docs. There was a thing that we realized during DocMas that like nobody really likes those. So
Wait, what?
DocMas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The least listened to episodes by far.
So we're basically
Truly not even close.
So really, at baseline, 13 episodes a year are terrible.
At least.
And they're our fault for a thing we're punishing ourselves for them.
And arguably, they're the most work. So at any rate, I hope after this episode, all of you tune in next week when DocMas begins. I know you. I'll know 2/3 of you will tune in next week when DocMas begins.
Hey, you fucking freaks.
Yeah.
You love it.
Yeah.
The 2/3 that do listen are the freaks.
Yeah, you're gonna hear Richard shit himself.
Or will I? I don't know.
Yeah.
So the final night, we should get to those questions.
Well, no, let's talk about the final night.
Oh,
in
yeah.
very broad strokes. So
Okay.
the premise of this event.
Well, let me handle it.
Go for it.
Yeah, yeah. So the premise of this event is world freezes over.
I mean, yes, but why?
Because Lex?
No.
Because of evil?
Mildly.
Okay.
Keep going. You're doing great.
Okay. And
I actually like this version of this episode better. Keep going.
it's evil.
Yes.
And
Evil in
usually,
the form of,
ice,
well,
cold,
no.
not hot.
What would make the Earth cold?
Removing the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what
okay.
kind of a thing might eat a sun?
Oh, a giant planet.
Just say sun eater.
Sun eater.
It's a sun eater. You're right.
That's what I called my ex-girlfriend.
Jesus. That also implies that the daughters made it.
Yeah, I'm discerning about what I put out. Or it's like when a dog eats a burger and spits out the lettuce.
Also, what is that as a comparison? You know how when a dog eats a burger, who's feeding a burger to a dog? A full burger.
Not me.
Jesus. My dog has health issues. I wonder what the problem is.
It wasn't my dog. It was somebody else's.
Oh, okay.
But it was a
don't
dog
worry,
that likes
that
eating.
dog's dead.
I mean, yes, but it was old.
Yeah, apparently I wasn't supposed to give it the chocolate burger.
Yeah, I kept feeding it only male cum and it died.
Jesus Christ. What the fuck? I take it back. I don't like this version of this episode.
Yeah, so Sun Eater.
Yeah. Easy.
Yeah, made the world cold. So the Justice League
Mm-hmm.
needs to make it puke up the sun.
I think you're too caught up on the eat.
I
part of
mean,
it. Yeah.
okay. And now the world.
Give me one pitch for how you think they resolve this.
They got to create a new sun
More or less
by using somebody who's got like reactive powers, like atomic powers of some sort.
Not specifically, but the idea of someone with an enormous well of power. You are right.
Okay, Superman.
No.
Okay,
Because without the sun, Superman actually gets very weak through this event.
oh shit, that's not
Because he
good.
doesn't have the incoming yellow solar energy.
Sure, yeah. He's not getting sprayed all over by that sun.
Easy.
Just getting covered by that
Listen. It's a sun eater. It's not a sun swallower.
I mean,
It's not the sun guzzler.
what's the difference?
Watch out, Superman, the sun,
Sun
guzzler.
guzzler.
It's like a Legion of Substitute Heroes. Get over here, sun guzzler.
I don't know why they call me that. His daughters too.
Like Superman, I metabolize solar energy, but I have to do it through my mouth. Only the skin inside my mouth can absorb solar radiation.
Why is your
They call me the sun guzzler.
Why is your mascara running?
Oh, Jesus Christ. What the fuck? The sun All the powers of Superman, but the grossest way to charge up. Jesus.
Did the sun just say you like that?
Jesus.
Easy.
Easy. Speaking of great balls of fire. No. So you are in very broad strokes right. So in the final night, a sun eater comes and damages the sun. Basically, like it doesn't like completely destroy the sun, but it damages it beyond repair. Essentially, the heroes tried to stop it before the sun eater got there because they kind of get warning. Like this character called Dusk kind of precedes the sun eater. He's like, the sun eater's coming, and they try a couple of things to.
Was he on a surfboard?
No. But he's like, they try a couple of things to stop it, like making an artificial sun to distract it or some shit like that. It doesn't work. The sun eater damages this.
Yeah, they called it the stepson.
I'm so angry about that. That's the funniest shit in the world. The stepson, S-U-N. Good Lord.
Superman's gone, stepson.
I'm stuck in the gravity well, stepson. Jesus. That's... I mean, it's really funny.
Thank you.
They try a couple of things to stop the sun eater, and it doesn't work, and it damages the sun. Then we kind of follow for like a little bit, like the earth starts freezing. And really, a lot of this event is actually just like, it's like some people are trying to work on, like Lex is big on trying to work on solutions because Lex, self-preservation will get him on the side of the angels.
Sure.
Right? But others are just like, there are people suffering while this is happening. So a lot of this event is actually watching the heroes like try to help people as the earth freezes, just like regular people, find a way to keep them warm. Etrigan is like, hell, we'll take in all of you refugees, but as long as you give us your souls. And
of course.
The Pope tells Etrigan to fuck off or something. Like,
hell yeah.
Shit like that in it. But yeah, and all of that happens. Eventually, they discover that the sun is probably also going to, not only is it severely weakened, and it doesn't have like yellow energy, like Superman's getting weak, but they discover that it's like losing size, but keeping what's left of its mass. So they're like, fuck,
Been there.
It's going to go, I mean, trust me.
Firm.
I get it.
It's firm.
It's going to go supernova. And so Parallax, Hal Jordan.
Oh.
He goes and decides this is going to be a thing he could do. He gets in there. He absorbs the supernova, uses his own energy, and uses it to basically reignite and restart a new sun, essentially in the sun.
Wow.
And it kills him. This is a big sacrifice play for
damn.
Parallax, the start of the Hal Jordan redemption arc.
Well, damn.
Yeah. And that's the final night.
Well, there
It's
you
a
go.
4-issue mini-series from the 90s. We got a bunch of questions about it.
Well, let's get to them.
Okay, let's do it.
Start off on Facebook.
Going to the face in the book, going to the Facebook.
First question comes from Braden Keddy, who asks, isn't it a little surprising that Luthor didn't think of reigniting Earth's sun, but somehow turning it red? He would save the world and leave Superman powerless.
I mean, here's the thing, though. Luthor didn't reignite the sun. Parallax did. Luthor's big plan was to make a force field strong enough that the Earth would survive the sun going supernova. That was Luthor's plan. Luthor's plan was not
Interesting.
about like actually fixing it. I like the thought process though of like taking advantage of the fact that but truly like it's such a dire circumstance that Luthor doesn't get the chance to take advantage of a weakened Superman because he's gotta
Save himself.
Luthor is working with Brainiac 5. He's like, it's a real like we all gotta pitch in here because like it's do or die. What I love about it is that it's do or die on I know it's the world and the sun and stuff like that in this event, but compared to other crises, it's actually pretty small. It's not the galaxy.
Yeah.
The fabric of the universe is being
Sure.
ripped apart. It's actually pretty contained. And I like it. I think it does kind of feel like the superhero equivalent of like the little blue dot thing. Like everyone realizes like this is just our planet. We gotta fucking save this thing. And I kind of, there's something sort of interesting that I like about that. And even Luthor's not dumb enough to waste his time on Superman when they're all about to die.
Totally.
But it's a fun idea that like he could use it to his advantage in some way. It's certainly not out of character for Luthor, but just in the context of this event, he really doesn't get a chance.
Well,
He's working with Brainiac 5. He's working with Flash on a few different things, making like probes to find out how the Sun Eater works, making this force field thing to try and protect the Earth. Like, yeah, Luthor is doing quite a bit of like science-y heavy lifting in this event.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. With that, let's leave Facebook and head on over to Instagram.
Now we're going to Instagram, take some questions and answer them.
First question comes from Dan Hummer 97. Wow,
Yeah.
It's been a while since I got a good Hummer from Dan.
Yeah, for the sun guzzler. Can I just say I kind of love this as like a shitty like Suicide Squad character, like a character that has
Sun
all the
guzzler.
powers of Superman but can only absorb sunlight from the inside their mouth. They just have to walk outside like, do you need to choke while you do it? No, but it helps.
It adds to it. What does that mean? It adds to it. Yeah, but does that mean it's better? It adds
Sun
to
guzzler, go.
it. Okay. No, I like it.
Oh no, he's like the All-Star Superman thing. He's overloading on solar energy. It's coming out of his nose. It's just sunlight. Jesus Christ. Are we bad people?
At least he swallows the sun.
Easy.
Dan Hummer 97 asks, do you think this was a good first step in redeeming Hal Jordan, or was he too far gone as a villain?
No, I actually think this is a better step in redeeming Hal Jordan than saying that he was possessed the whole time, that Parallax was like the fear thing and not just like his own name for
It's a
himself.
fucking cop-out.
Like Hal's redemption arc is actually a lot better until that moment, because previously in 0 Hour he had used his power to try and undo all of time. He's going to remake things right,
Of course.
like that kind of delusional shit. And in this one, he's like, no, I can save the day. I'll use my power. I'll make a fucking sun.
Hell yeah.
I'll absorb a supernova and make a sun. And he does it, and he saves the day. And it's a thing where he doesn't do it but find a way to live. He doesn't do it but I'll sneak in a little thing to like rebuild Coast City. Like there's no other thing. He's just doing a heroic deed, which does not undo him destroying the core. It doesn't undo, but it is a step, like the question said, towards redemption. And then after that, what we get is how Soul becomes host for the Spectre a little bit later. And then that is the real Hal redemption arc, because Hal is kind of grappling with his legacy, his actions, stuff like that. And he tries to, can he change the mission of the Spectre from vengeance to redemption? And a big thing in that run is him trying to use the power of the Spectre to redeem, to give a second chance instead of just punishing and ending the first chance. And a lot of it is him failing, or the Spectre fighting him on that.
Yeah.
Because that's not what the Spectre is for. But that's Hal grappling with his own guilt and shit like that. All of that starts because he sacrifices himself in Final Night. So it's actually a great first step on a redemption arc that is fascinating and then weirdly undercut when they're like, he was possessed.
I hate that.
Here's your old Hal. He's back, baby. Ask no more questions.
Fucking hate that
You
shit.
know what I mean? Like that's,
Yeah.
and I'm a little bit of a defender of the Parallax thing anyway, because I'm like, I like the emotional entities.
Yeah.
Like, I like those ideas and stuff like that, so I'm a slight defender of that. But really, when you just look at it, like, Hal was on a fine redemption arc. You could have brought him back and not done that. It's a hat in a hat. It's one step too far.
I agree.
You know? There's a version of this where he could have been inspired by Parallax the Fear Thing and taken the name but not been possessed. Like, it still could have been him that had done it. Like, I don't know. But yes, in general, I think this is a solid kind of first bit on that road. I mean, how Parallax does... He helps a couple of times in this event because he also is the one that gets the probes into the Sun Eater, which is itself dangerous and requires someone with a lot of power. Because Superman... Yeah. Normally that's a job for Superman, but Superman can't because he's depleted all of his solar energy. Someone else has to do it. And Parallax does step up a couple of times through this. And so him taking the Superman spot of the move, the sacrifice, is pretty cool.
Totally. All right, next question from the real Josh Gill.
Sexy Gill.
Who asks, why does DC hate Starfire? Why can't she ever have a happy ending?
Yeah. I remember what happens to Starfire. Well, I mean, it's got to be... I actually don't remember. But here's what I'll say. Starfire also metabolizes solar energy. So this must go wrong for her, too. And I know what it is, and I'm not flipping through pages.
No,
because I read this.
Yeah.
And I'm good for it.
You remember it.
And I remember it, and it's all Gucci.
Yeah.
And
I'm glad that you did.
It's fine.
Because...
And you just vamp a little bit for me.
Yeah. Blood. I like to drink blood.
Yeah, that's what I meant by vamp.
I like it, but I don't like garlic. It's terrible. In the cross, it makes me so scared. I don't like that at all. But I do like blood. Don't forget the blood part, because that part is very good. Some might even say I guzzle blood. I choke on it, and the mascara comes down my eyes because I'm a blood guzzler. That's what they call me. As a vampire, that's what I'm known for. Sometimes I also host a tattoo competition known as
Inkers.
Inkers. That's right. I'm Grave Navarro. If you listen to Ghost Faces, you may recognize this character. But if not, who's to say? But yes, classic vampire things, afraid of slayers. Wooden stakes, no good.
Yes, I remember.
Goodbye.
Yes, I remember. Starfire had been like fighting with her sister with Blackfire or something like that, but she and something happened. Tamaran exploded or some shit, and she wasn't there, and she's kind of dealing with all that kind of shit. Mm-hmm. And then the book starts.
Cool. Glad we waited for that.
Is this a good episode?
I can never tell with this show.
I actually think, like, on the note of Starfire, who has lost her powers and gotten them back and been through a few of those different things, I actually think, not that she's in a ton of things, but I like her being a sort of ancillary character for Blue Beetle. Like, she has been in Blue Beetle Graduation Day, and in the current Blue Beetle series, Starfire is a little bit of a mentor figure.
Really? I wouldn't have put those two together.
And I really like her dynamic with Jaime. It's a lot of fun.
I wouldn't have put those two together. That's interesting.
Like a real kind of a mentor vibe, a thing like that. She understands, well, especially right now because that Blue Beetle book is dealing with, there's a subset of the Reach, which is the alien race that created the Scarab.
Sure.
The Reach are like imperialist conquerors, but there's this subset called the Horizon that don't feel that way, and they're refugees right now on Earth, and Starfire is helping Jaime and helping them because she's like, I know what it's like to be from another planet, and blah, 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 blah. And like I like the dynamic. I think she's really good in there. I think she's been good in Titans. I think once especially now that Dick and Barbara are more concretely a thing, I think Starfire is allowed to just be a little bit like an actual hero and not just someone waiting for Nightwing. Yeah. Which I think helps a little bit too. I think there's some decent, again, not that she's shown up a ton, But I think the characterization of Starfire has gotten a lot better in the last, call it 3 or 4 years. She just doesn't show up enough.
Sure.
But I like when she does.
Totally. All right, next question from Blake von Sextron.
I'm sure this will go well as well.
I really, really liked this one.
Thank God. Next question.
It felt a lot like a Star Trek episode, helping on a small scale as well as dealing with existential threat.
Right.
Is this a popular event? If so, why don't we get more like this? And if not, why the hell not?
I think this is a pretty well-regarded event. I'm not sure, like...
And well remembered.
Listen. I will remember you. Final night.
Oh, yeah.
I think this is a well-regarded event. I don't 100% know its exact reception at the time, but I agree that a thing that makes it pretty strong is that thing that we're talking about. That it's not about like the multiverse. It's pretty contained. And it's very personal in some ways. Like early in the event, Superman and Lex Luthor shaking hands is like a big like full page kind of image. Like it's really about these dynamics. It's about
when something like this happens and there's nobody at fault, what do you do?
And it forces us to kind of show different types of heroism. Like if you can't punch the problem, some people are working on a solution, but not everyone can or is useful for that.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, like people need hope and people need protection and people and seeing. It's that thing we talk about with movies sometimes where it's like you get through a whole superhero movie and you go like, I didn't see one civilian. It's like,
it's true.
When you see that shit too much, you go like, well, you guys are the problem. All you do is fight yourselves.
Yeah.
But this is an event that reminds us of the role that these heroes play on a global scale and seeing them like saving families or finding shelter for people or, like doing all of the, like, it's really something, and I think it's really cool. Even a character like the Spectre, who is like, well, this is probably what God wants, still kind of does a little bit of like, who does he talk to? Some kind of Earth god, which may or may not be Gaia. And goes like, is there anything we can do here? Like, is there somewhere we can shunt these people, like a different dimension or some shit? Like, like there's all of these, everyone is trying something, even if it's beyond their power. And even if it's maybe slightly out of character, like it really does feel like the end.
Mm-hmm.
And they do a good job of being like, it's not a big battle. You don't get to just like give a speech. It is not this day. And then like win. Yeah. It's that like not with a bang but a whimper kind of thing. It's like, how do you deal with the whimper? Sun guzzler.
I fucking knew it.
But I think that is a thing that is pretty strong about this event. Now, as far as other events doing that, you're right in that there aren't as many. The tendency is something big or a little bit more sci-fi or a little more high concept or something like that. I guess it's similar in vibes, but Endless Winter is like another, like the world is freezing, but Endless Winter still focuses more on the adventure than on the the fallout of it, an event that is like personal and contained to Earth and generally pretty good and doesn't involve necessarily the multiverse is like Blackest Night, but Blackest Night is also big, high concept and essentially a battle.
Sure, yeah.
Final Night is, I won't say totally unique because I'm sure there's something else out there, but you're right to point out that it's rare. And I think it's just hard to duplicate. I think the reason you don't see it is that it's quiet, and I think that's a little bit of a tough sell.
Truly.
Like, what if our big event was just about us quietly accepting our fate?
Sure, yeah, that's a hard sell.
It's not exactly
a
superhero sell, what I mean? And, they're not all accepting it. They are trying to fix the thing. But you know what I mean? So much of this book is like the rumination on like your last days or the things that you might see in like a a kind of apocalypse movie or something like that. So yeah, I don't have a great answer for why they haven't done more like this, because I do think it was pretty good, other than the fact that it's like you really captured lightning in a bottle. I think other attempts at this probably ended up more conventional, more punchy than this.
But it's generally well regarded.
I think so, yeah.
Totally.
Very like pretty well loved, I think pretty critically well regarded. And short, it's 4 issues. It's not 8 issues. It didn't take 12 issues. It's just, we're in, we're out. There were some tie-ins. It's a pretty contained story.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, next question from Last Great T, who asks, is Tommy/Hitman the best character in DC, or is he the best character in DC? Is this Hitman like Hitman from that what we read in
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, we read a Hitman comic during DocMas.
Wow.
People like Hitman.
Do they?
They do. And they're not 100% wrong to like Hitman.
Because from what I saw,
But
it's
Hitman
fine.
is very much a product of the time.
Sure. Sounds like it.
And to me, and this is the Garth Ennis of it all.
Sure.
Like Hitman, you know how this might have been during DocMas, but we were having a conversation of it's sometimes hard to pull characters from another universe into DC when the thing that a lot of other universes is doing is riffing on DC.
Yeah.
The boys. The 7 is based on the League, not on the Avengers.
Yeah.
Invincible, the Guardians of the Globe are based on the League, not the Avengers. Like everything that has a sort of meta riff or a little subversive thing about superheroes is riffing on DC because DC is the template.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and Hitman feels like a character from one of those things that is subverting DC.
Sure.
Even down to the look, Hitman looks like fucking can't think of the name now. Butcher.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like even a little bit like how Huey looks in the comics. Not like facially, but just the vibe, Hitman feels like a character where it's like, man, these fucking soups, someone got to take them down a peg.
Yeah.
So to me, Hitman is interesting. Hitman does bring a different flavor into comics, but Hitman feels like a thing that could only exist in the 90s. And even at that, can barely exist in DC because Hitman's existence in DC almost feels like it breaks the world because he feels like he should be a character in another universe that's like, isn't this stupid shit?
Yes.
Hitman being in DC feels
weird.
It's weird to be in the thing it's commenting on.
Yeah.
That's my personal take. Lots of people like Hitman, and that's fine. And certainly of the Bloodlines characters, that's the only one to like.
Sure.
But he doesn't do it for me.
Fair.
He's a little bit of an artifact for me. I'm fascinated by his time in DC, and I've never wanted to see him again.
I get that.
You know, that's sort of where I'm at with Hitman.
Totally.
Yeah.
All right, let's leave Instagram and head on over to Reddit,
where everyone's nice and no one's ever mean.
First question comes from Bangarang8, who asks,
Bangarang8. Bangarang. Fuck.
What?
Well, I ran out of syllables. I was trying to do Bamalam, and then
Oh, Black Betty, Bangarang8.
I just had 8.
Oh, Black Betty, Bangarang8. Black Betty, Bangarang8.
It's better my way.
Yeah. Oh, 8 Bangarang. 8. No, you're right. Yours is better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad
Let
we
me
did
cook.
that. Yeah. What was I thinking? Bangarang 8.
It's beginning to bangarang 8.
8.
Christmas.
No, you shouldn't add Christmas.
What do you mean?
Beginning to bangarang
like
8.
Fuck. Stupid.
Bangarang 8 asks, I recently read this and really loved this event.
I love that.
Not quite best DC event, as Jaffe said, but it's up there.
It's definitely up there.
This is sort of the time period I am least familiar with in DC continuity. So my question is, why was the Legion stuck in present day? Also, who was this version of Pharaoh Lad who died?
Well, this version of Pharaoh Lad doesn't die, I'm pretty sure, because
At least I think.
Superman or Parallax or whatever takes over. Like Pharaoh Lad's like, oh, I'll do it, and it's supposed to be like a callback to Pharaoh Lad also dying in a different sun, which is like how Pharaoh Lad died in the 70s or whatever.
Oh, okay.
It's supposed to be a callback to that, but this one doesn't die. His name's just Pharaoh, and he doesn't die, I'm pretty sure, because Parallax takes his place. It might not even be the final thing. It might be like the delivering the probes into the Sunny, because like Lex is like, we got to learn about this thing if we're gonna defeat it. So it might even be then, and Parallax pulls it off, and Pharaoh doesn't have to die. I might be slightly misremembering that, but I'm pretty sure Pharaoh does not die here. But it is meant to call back to that thing, because when Pharaoh Lad dies in the 70s, he dies like going into a sun,
Sure.
like doing that kind of shit. So it's supposed to be a kind of like a, you know, the George Lucas, like, it's like poetry, it rhymes sort of shit.
Okay.
It's supposed to be like that. Why is the Legion stuck in the present? That I don't 100% remember. But the big thing that comes up is that because the Legion has this future knowledge, they're like, well, we can help. And then they go like, well, we do remember that the sun did get destroyed. We know that. And everyone goes like, wait, fucking what?
Like, oops.
And of course it does, but then Parallax reignites, it makes
Sure.
it new again. But so, you know, they were right, but then we missed this part, or whatever the shit. Brainiac 5, you know, works with Lex through this. At some point, a few of the Legionnaires, plus Superman, plus Parallax, they're the ones that try to make the artificial sun to be a decoy for the Sun Eaters. I'm pretty sure Sun Boy is part of that.
Stepson.
Possibly, no, just Sun Boy. Which feels like a weird translation of something.
Sun Boy.
Sun Boy, come here. Sun Boy, maybe Wildfire. Yeah, Parallax. Maybe Captain Atom. Like a bunch of characters try to pool all of their energies together to make this artificial sun, but it doesn't distract the Sun Eater the way they
are
want it
hoping
to.
for it. Yeah.
But people do, like on Earth, go like, "Whoa, a stepson." Nice.
Its dad isn't home.
Yeah, I bet it warms the Earth way better than its father does.
I'd totally get it stuck in a dryer for that stepson.
Man, we're like an unhealthy society, I think.
Next question comes from Diaper Gal Kate, who asks.
Yeah, sorry. I don't 100% remember why the Legion's in the past, but they are interesting components of it.
Sure.
It's neat to see them team up with the League.
Has this ever been referred to in other DC events?
I mean, yes. But I'd say the biggest way it's referred to is just tracking the journey of Hal Jordan. Like the biggest legacy of this event is not like very not often does it go like, hey, remember when the sun was gone? Like people
George Lucas, you're back.
It's me.
Yeah.
I just love the show so much.
History rhymes.
Yeah. I had an idea to make the show better. What if there was like a little like singing alien in the front? That was actually my original vision for the Dr. DC podcast, and now I have the technology to do it.
That feels like a bad thing we would do.
Yeah. Oh, hey.
Yeah. I'm gonna go back and I mean, people did ask us to do it. Maybe we do go back and re-record those episodes.
Oh my god, yeah.
Better technology we have now.
Yeah, we'll put in all the little flying shit in Bestman.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
But the reality is, if we went back, I'd put in less production.
Like, I actually did too much.
Yeah. I think the 12 layers of fucking audio files.
A bunch of unplugged episodes of Dr. DC. We just recorded it with an area mic in a coffee house. Yeah, sorry. So there's not a ton of people being like, remember the Sun Eater, but there's a lot of Hal died reigniting the sun. That is the biggest callback I would say we have from this. It's also like the biggest impact or the biggest lasting kind of legacy piece of this. Through all the continuity shifts and stuff like that, we are still in a place where we reference the time that Hal was Parallax and him having come back. And then the dominoes of that, so Hal becoming the Spectre, leads to him resurrecting Oliver Queen, leads to like his own resurrection, leads to the core coming back. Like all of these pieces go backwards in a straight line to Hal as Parallax reigniting the sun, and then backwards a little bit more to him even becoming Parallax. But that's really the number one way I would say that Final Night is referenced in ongoing comics.
Yeah.
Not a bunch of people are like, oh, remember when it was cold and we got people inside? Like we don't do a ton of that, you know.
Fair. All right, next question from Lokta, who asks, who is another superpowered individual that you believe should have also been able to reignite the sun?
Ooh.
Also, should the sun have gone back out when Kyle took the energy and became Ion?
Okay, you
start.
You answer the first part of this question. Who are some other characters that you think could have had the sacrifice play reignite the sun?
The Atom?
The Atom, or do you mean Captain Atom?
Or Captain Atom, sorry,
Right.
yes.
Yeah, the Atom. Don't worry, I'll shrink and burn to death.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Wait, what?
Sure, there's fucking Atom. There's
Remember
the
me?
Atom, Atom Smasher, fucking Captain Atom. Jesus Christ.
Just Captain Atom, really, of those. Firestorm? There's a version where Firestorm could maybe figure it out.
Sure. Superman has actually done it.
Well, he's Superman in All-Star Superman.
Yeah.
That's a thing, for sure. But that's a different situation. Superman and first of all, All-Star Superman comes out later. But All-Star Superman is overcharged with solar energy.
Sure, yeah.
That's what's killing him. And so him going into the sun and dispersing that energy makes sense. In this, Superman has no solar energy because the sun is gone. So that would also, like the Atom, just be Superman burning to death and doing nothing.
You don't think it would be him, like, he would get energy by going inside of it?
No, because that's not how it works. The yellow radiation is gone. Like, it's... Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
Idiot. Read the fucking... You did the homework. The homework, the most fun part of a recreational thing we do.
Yeah, I'm glad
there's homework.
Yeah, I'm glad I take my time from my hot girlfriend to do homework.
Listen, I'm giving her a break from you.
I mean, that's true. Yeah.
If anything, you should be thanking me because I'm adding years to your relationship.
Yeah, but
every time I take you out of the room, this relationship lasts longer.
Oh.
Yeah, I love you, but Jesus.
Does it last as long as the time I'm away, though?
Well,
because then what's the point?
Does anything? Oh, yeah. How worth it is your time?
That's a good question.
It's not.
Let me ask ChatGPT.
No. So the second part of this question, no, the sun shouldn't go out. So when Kyle takes some of the residual Green Lantern energy or whatever out of the sun eventually.
Sure.
Or what I can't 100% remember, but something like that. But the point of what Hal does in there is not that his energy is keeping the sun going, but the sun needs a kickstart to get reborn.
Sure.
And part of that is the energy from the supernova of the old sun gets channeled in, and that with the green energy gets just turned into like an ignition of a new sun. But then that becomes a self-sustaining system again, like a sun is.
Sure.
There's no version at that point where it's like, God, if that green energy wasn't in there, this sun would go fucking out.
Okay.
That's not how that works. It's a fair question, but Hal uses the energy to kick off a regular chemical, like physical process. So it's just going. It's like you use jumper cables to get the battery going, but once the car's running, it'll charge the battery.
Sure.
That's the shit with the sun. Look at that, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Not that fucking hard. You don't have to talk down to people. I I know just as much as you do.
So that when the Green Lantern
Yeah.
exposes his energy to the sun and Kyle takes it back, that doesn't mean that the sun can't keep going.
I do like that there's a few out there, people doing Neil deGrasse Tyson impressions.
Yeah.
None of them sound like him. But they're all recognizably him.
Yeah.
They're all wrong, but they're all like, yeah.
Yeah. That's what I go with.
It's all you need to do is just like sound a little condescending.
And go slow and talk deep.
I do like the Key and Peele sketch.
Yes.
where
Oh
it's
my
like,
God.
with his wife, where it's like, I caught you. You cheated. Who's the bitch who's like lipsticks on your shirt? And he's like, actually, we're
This isn't-
always coming and going. Life is a series of meetings and partings. In the multiverse, I didn't hook up with Angela. Or like
So I fucking
that shit's really funny to me. I really
so
love that.
good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, we are leaving Reddit and heading on over to the Discord.
Oh fuck.
What's the thing you're doing now?
Don't worry.
Okay.
Let me cook.
Okay. Sizzle, baby.
I've got this.
Oh my God.
Watch this.
Oh my God. Here I go. Oh fuck. Yep.
Hear me docks again on my
Oh.
scored.
Down,
Going down the only docks I've ever scored.
down,
Like I scored and I was docks and all alone.
down, down.
And I'm doxing my score. I ain't scored in no more docks. Here I docks a score. You told me Whitesnake is like, they're like
No,
Finnish or
no.
something?
Scorpion is
Scorpion
German.
doesn't. We've been over this. You think Scorpion does Here I Go Again. It's Whitesnake.
No, I know, but we were talking about the thing I was referring to.
Yeah, but I just like being.
That's not what I was talking about. The band that is I was referring to as Scorpion, and they're German.
Well, now I'm wrong, and I don't like this feeling.
Here I go again. Here I go.
My child is sleeping.
Not anymore.
Yeah, thanks.
And I put her to goddamn bed.
Easy.
What?
Sounds like you killed her.
She won't be waking up.
Jesus.
First question comes from
What the
Catchuar
fuck?
David. Oh, I read her a book
No.
about Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that
she-
was cute, actually.
and she didn't like the really overly explainy first page. And
No,
so,
of course not.
And so she was like, yeah, no, we're going to go to the next page.
Yeah. Yeah, she also hates when I read like the first couple of pages of Crisis on Infinite Earths. I don't get it.
It was really funny because I
In
was...
the beginning.
Yeah, that's very much what was... I was doing that voice, too.
We spent too much time together.
I was doing the wizard at the beginning. And I was
Sure,
like,
yeah.
in the beginning. And literally she was like,
You, Billy Batson.
yeah, Billy Batson.
You're like, you're good at it, but also don't do it. Don't do it more than we have to.
Now that's all I want to do, though.
I'm aware.
And she was like, you can go to the next page. Because there's a lot of text in that
There
first
is, yeah.
page.
Now I
I do like
defy-
that it says Shazam, but then they say Captain Marvel throughout the rest of it.
Well, because that was the whole like legal thing. They couldn't call the book Captain Marvel, so they had to call it like Power of Shazam or whatever.
they are the Marvels.
The character was still called Captain Marvel legally,
okay.
but Marvel got the right to call its book Captain Marvel, and they could also call their character Captain Marvel. So they really got the winning end of that
Yeah,
deal.
yeah. But yeah.
I dare you to say Billy Batson in your regular voice now.
Billy Batson.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I know like the bellwether for like cool narrator voice is Morgan Freeman. But I would throw it out there that I would love to just hear Jimon Hunsu like talk about like a nature documentary or
Now
some
you
shit.
see the penguins.
I said I wanted to hear Jimon Hunsu do it.
They bring a pebble.
We couldn't afford him, so we paid this white guy to do a Jimon Hunsu impression.
Hold on, let me get into it. Billy Batson. Now talk about the penguins.
Vampire Bat Cave.
Yeah.
Nope.
Hold on. I got
Let
it.
me cook.
Star-Lord.
Oh, yeah. Who?
Yeah.
That's your cornerstone phrase.
Who? Billy Batson? Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Is this bad?
I mean, it's not good.
It's not as bad as that t-shirt I sent you earlier today.
Yeah. Well, did you see my comment on that?
Yeah, that's worse.
Yeah. Richard saw a t-shirt and sent it to me and said, "Is this racist?" And the t-shirt had printed out the opening lyrics to that first song of The Lion King.
But it's like how it's how we all do it.
But yeah, it's like, I don't know, like maybe they're spelling it the way it actually.
No, I looked it up. It's
not. Oh, okay. So then it is just.
It is what I said is the
someone
same.
Was like, "Hey, what's the opening to that?" I'd be like, "I don't know. I'll just guess."
Yeah, that's like, Mulan. What is it? Ching Chong. Like it's the same.
So you looked it up, and that's like not.
It is absolutely nowhere even near what it actually is.
Yeah, then it's pretty racist.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not great. Anyway.
Cactuar David asks, do you think Hal's sacrifice redeemed him for his actions as Parallax? Also, what did the characters in universe think about it?
Listen, he saves the day. It's pretty big. Like I said, it doesn't undo the other shit he did.
Yeah.
Maybe from the perspective of regular people on Earth,
where he saved the day.
Well, because they wouldn't necessarily understand what he did to time during 0 hour.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't really have a clear conception of what he did to the core. You know, like, they'd be like, "Oh, Hal." Well, I mean, they don't know it's Hal, but you know what I mean? They'd be like, "He did it. Yay." Maybe to them. I think to some, it's they go like, Hal came around. He lost his way. He came, like, it's like I think it's really easy for us to get indignant and nitpicky with Hal Jordan. Maybe it's just because of serialized comics or something, but it's like, that's like saying, like, Darth Vader killed one emperor. Did that make up for, like, all the fucking younglings?
Sure.
Yikes. Like, how many thousands of Jedi died because of him?
Yeah.
It's like, did saving his own son, admittedly kind of selfish, did that undo it? It's like, I guess enough to be a Force ghost, but, like...
Also didn't actually finish the job. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Thanks, JJ.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, I don't think we quibble with Darth Vader's redemption the way we might quibble with Hal's. And on that scale, you go like, yeah, that's when it counted. He did the right thing. The Hal we know, the sacrifice play, that kind of thing. He did it. What's great is that it, like I said, it kicks off this kind of longer redemption arc for him. Now, we know from when he comes back, Batman takes a little more convincing. I mean, Batman, I do kind of like the idea of him just historically having problems with Green Lanterns.
That is very funny.
I do kind of like that. But, like, he gets one over eventually. But, Superman is like, "It's nice to have you back, Hal." They're like, "It's nice to have you back." And Batman's like, "You went evil and you're kind of a dick. And it's going to take more than a miraculous resurrection for me to fucking worship at your own." Like, Batman.
I do love that.
I like it too, but like that's the number one kind of big sort of piece there, I think. I other people do encounter Hal as the Spectre a little bit, like when he is dead. So there is a general, I think, for some characters, understanding that he is on a redemption path. That it wasn't just like shit, I shouldn't have killed. I thought I was going to survive that, but I killed myself. But when I'm back, like, I do think some people have a little bit of a conception that he had turned a corner, that he's kind of back to original Hal. But the big one is Batman. He takes more convincing,
as he should.
Yeah.
Next question from the moral compass of the Docscord, who asks, "It's the final night. You're stuck in Noonan's with Tommy Monahan and the gang.
That's Hitman.
Talking about your first time. How are you spending your time? What do you talk about should you decide to join the discussion? Which story are you revolted by? Who do you make friends with?"
There's a little sort of sub thing in here of like people drinking to the end of the world kind of thing.
Sure,
with Hitman. I can't imagine that's how I would be spending the end of the world.
You'd be like, finally.
Yeah, I mean, even joke version of me wouldn't want to spend it with fucking strangers at the bar.
I mean, you don't want to spend time with strangers at a bar in
I
general.
don't want to spend time with people I know.
Yeah. Oh. Okay.
Sorry, did you think that my answer here was it's the end of the world, Richard and I should hang out? I don't want to be shitty about it, but I have a family.
Your family could be there too.
Yeah. No, they will be. Not two. They'll be that you'd be there too.
You can
if anyone is the two.
If you want to invite them, that's fine.
Oh, nice of you to join me and Reed for the end of the world.
Thought this was our thing, but that's fine.
No, I mean, I definitely wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't go like by myself or like go to like a bar with randos or whatever. Or even like with a group of friends. I'd be with my family.
Sure.
And you'd be there too. And you? And you?
That's more people than.
I mean, that's already too many people.
Yeah.
That invite list needs to get called
Yeah. No, you or you.
Yeah. Just you.
I'm okay with that. Your family can join.
Your partner can come.
Hey, sure.
But just to guarantee that you'll be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I know how guest lists work.
Fuck yeah.
No, I think that's a trope that I just don't vibe with. That's not who I am as a person. I could see it working for someone else, but it's not my speed.
I mean, if I was already at the bar, sure.
Yeah, I guess if it was dangerous to leave, but that's a different situation though too.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Thinking like 8 billion genies or something. Yeah.
Well, totally. If I couldn't leave, then yeah, I guess I'd stay. But if I was at the bar, if I heard like there's 30 hours until the earth freezes to death, I'd be like, well, I guess I should go home.
Yeah.
Like, that's thought number one, you know.
I mean, cold beer.
Nice. Yeah. Coors, Rocky Mountain cold. No sun cold.
I do like
guzzle this beer.
I saw Jesus.
Like the sun we don't have.
Wow.
Yikes.
I saw a thing the other day that was like the fucking Coors Blue Mountain thing.
Yeah.
It was such a good idea because it was like, look, our beer is bad, like cold.
Yeah.
We can't imagine you drinking it not cold. So
I mean, really.
That's so funny.
It is funny.
To be like, look, we know, like, you if this is not ice cold, it's going to be way worse.
It is funny that like the subtle messaging is like, you better fucking crush these.
Yes.
If you even pretend to enjoy the taste, you'll regret it.
If this isn't blue,
yeah,
you're having a bad time.
Take a sip, put it back in the freezer.
Yeah.
Take another sip, put it back in the freezer.
I love that so much.
Yeah, it is pretty funny.
It's like, okay, well, we have our bad product, but I guess it's good when it's better when it's cold.
It's good when it's so cold that your tongue can't recognize what it is. Yeah.
What if we made it seem like that was the best way?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's good marketing.
It is. I love it.
So let's flip this question a little bit. What's the sort of thing you would, if you hear there's 30 hours or whatever till the end of the world, what would you do?
I'm going fuck. Obviously.
Like just your partner, or just like, you mean like Groundhog Day style, no consequences?
I mean, look, this is recorded.
Like rob a bank. Like, I don't give a shit.
No, I don't give a shit about money.
No, but I just mean for the thrill of it.
Oh, yeah, kill some people. It's the purge.
You'd be like, oh, what did Parallax do?
Oh
shit.
Fuck.
I kind of thought we were all gonna die.
Yeah.
Shit. Can I plead I was tricked?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going fuck.
For 30 hours?
Well,
30 hours?
It's been 30 hours and 16 days.
Yeah. Sinead O'Connor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess I don't have a better answer.
I want to eat.
I just want to
eat and fuck.
Eat is good.
Yeah.
Just hang out.
Yeah.
Slowly freeze. Titanic style.
Yeah.
You know.
Or like at the end of The Shining. Yeah.
Well, no, but that's like he didn't want to die. He just froze to death. I mean, like Titanic's style was like we hop into bed instead of the water rising. It's just the temperature goes down. You just sort of freeze.
I mean, that is a kind of nice way to go, because I was like, oh god, at a certain point you just shoot yourself, and I'm like, no, freezing to death is actually not bad, because then your body goes warm and then you die.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I've never gotten like extreme hypothermia before. I'm sure it's unpleasant.
No, but that's what I've heard, is that you go into like a euphoria, like warmth, and then die. So. Fucking sign me up.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, I can't imagine I'd be spending it with Hitman in a bar talking about getting laid. I remember the first time I fucked. It's like,
I don't
like a cool time to. Well, yeah, I mean, we can't answer the question that way for you.
I don't want to relive that moment.
I don't even know what it is, and I know I don't want to know it.
It's not a good story.
Of course, it's not. It's you.
Yeah, that's the way that I
mean that
go.
in the nicest way possible. Like, I can't believe you're as well-adjusted as you are.
And I'm not.
You're
so
not.
you can only imagine.
You're not, but you still like function as a person. I can't.
You learned a lot this year. It's okay.
I know too much, and that's still me basically not knowing.
Yeah, it's true.
Much of anything.
That's true. Want to get into it? That's how we go. Is that I am telling you the story of my life,
and I'm just waiting to freeze to
You're
death.
like, stop, please stop.
Can't entropy come faster?
And that was the fourth year. Let's get into the fifth.
No.
All right, next question.
Jesus.
From the last question also comes from JK, who asks, I'm reading through the whole event right now. Pretty interesting so far. And one thing that struck me was that I think this is the first DC event I've seen that didn't have a component of time travel or the multiverse within it.
Sure.
Are there any other events like this in DC? And do you think there should be more?
I mean, strictly speaking,
Yeah.
Blackest Night doesn't really have a multiverse or time travel component.
Neato.
It has a very cosmic, big picture, cosmology kind of component to it. Like, it's definitely not as quiet as the Final Night.
Sure.
But strictly speaking, it's not really a multiverse thing. Let's try and think through some other... There are definitely other events that don't involve that stuff, but they're smaller. You know, Justice League versus Suicide Squad. Like, that's obviously not a multiverse thing, but it's, you know, it's pretty small. You know, we think of like even smaller things like little mini arcs or mini crossovers between things. We call those.
I mean, this is like a 4-book thing. Like, yeah, it's barely an event.
Witching Hour that we read, like, again, has cosmic implications, but is not strictly speaking a multiverse story or a time travel.
And that's
thing.
6.
And but it's still like we still have to be like the structure of the multiverse.
Yeah,
we still talk about it, even if we don't explore it. It's still kind of in the background. It's still like a piece of it a little bit. The short answer is there are a few events like that, but certainly the Final Night is probably the biggest, best one that doesn't really lean on either of those things. You know, maybe like Millennium or, well, I guess Legends is a little bit multiversey in that it involves the Fourth World and Phantom Stranger and shit like that. But again, it's not necessarily about parallel Earths and like that kind of thing, but it is a little bit cosmic. But like, you know, Millennium is sort
Identity
of like,
Crisis?
Invasion's a pretty big one that isn't really time travel.
Is Identity Crisis?
I mean, Identity Crisis is technically. It's definitely not as well liked as Final Night or something. But yes, you're right. You know, even Heroes in Crisis is a time travel story. Invasion, though, pretty sure it doesn't really invoke time travel or multiverse. Invasion's a pretty big one. But again, those ones still come down to like a big fight or a battle or a thing. Like the alchemy of Final Night is relatively unique, being pretty quiet, pretty personal.
Sure.
Very character driven, not very punchy. There's not a ton of like action, I would argue, in Final Night.
Totally.
It's a lot of talking between Kyle and Parallax, or between Superman and Lex Luthor, or between like whatever, right?
Sure, yeah.
It's relatively unique that way. So yes, I mean, of course, you can find other events that don't use multiverse or time travel, but you're still not finding an event like this one.
Totally. All right, well, that was the last question. Baby. The last question Of
the last regular episode of the year.
Holy shit.
DocMas is next.
Oh my God. Well, when the new year comes, you can send us questions through our various social media platforms.
That's right. We're Dr. DC Podcast across the platforms.
That's right. And if you want to get even more content beyond, if you're just like, oh, DocMas, I don't want to fucking listen to that. Well, the double dose is available.
Yeah, baby.
And I'd rather you listen to that.
Go to patreon.com/DrDC.
You got to pay for it.
We get it, man. Yeah. Like, it's a $1
money.
Shut the fuck up. I've got, let me cook.
Oh, sorry, baby. Give it to them.
Have yourself a docky little Christmas. May your double dose.
Oh.
Have some more of that cash for us in your hand.
You just did the thing that you were telling me not to do.
Fuck. There's a $1, a $5, a $7 level. They all give you access to the Discord, our awesome Discord fan community. And at the higher levels, you get bonus episodes like the Double Dose, bonus series like Toretto Talks or Bonding Time. Bonding Time is going to run through into the new year as we do the Craig bonds. And then there'll be a little bit of a break. And then I already know what the next series is.
Whoa, you're going to keep it going.
Well, it's going to be a new one.
Well, marriage has got to stay together someday.
No. It's a new one with a new co-host.
Oh my!
Every time I do one of these, new co-host.
Okay.
And it's going to be Cerebros. It's going to be me and Matt Poulter, Chicken Matty, going through all the X-Men movies.
Oh wow!
So that'll be
exciting.
That'll be in March or April when that starts up.
Sure.
But
I love that we're just taking the fucking blank check thing.
Shut the fuck up.
Just doing series.
Yeah, but we're doing. Well, I'm doing.
Yeah. I'm not doing it.
I mean, I really should bow out for one and make you do it with someone else.
Oh my God! Could you imagine?
No, that's why I'm not allowed. But all of that helps to support us. Also, by the time you're listening to this, I think the public polls for Doxners voting will be out. So make sure you put your votes in for the Doxners. This is like the fan curated the award ceremony of the season. Everyone's always waiting for the Doxners.
It's the reason for the season.
It's the reason for the season. Fuck you, Jesus. But get those votes in. So the nominees are determined by our DocScored patrons and by the organizing committee. But the votes, whoever wins, is determined by you, all you listeners. So wherever you find us on social media, there'll be links to the voting, to the polls. Get your Doxners votes in. And the third annual Doxners Awards will come out sometime after DocMas ends, before the new year.
Fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, also we have another podcast.
You sounded unconvinced, by the way.
Oh, I won't be there.
Fucking classic.
It's the time of the year. It's the reason for the season.
Yeah,
I don't show up and stuff.
You got to stop saying that like it explains anything. It's the reason for the season.
Yeah, I think that explains it.
You get divorced again?
Oh, from this podcast.
Listen, the real divorce didn't do it.
This is the one relationship that lasts.
You're in.
There's no clause in this one.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's no such thing as no fault end of podcast here.
There's the Santa Claus.
Oh my goodness. I love neatly trimmed pubes.
You're gonna fuck Santa. We have a whole other podcast.
Ghostfacers, a Supernatural rewatch. We're going through every single episode of the CW Supernatural. We are past the halfway mark of the series now. We're in season 8. And we talk about real world monster lore, behind the scenes stuff about the show. And it's pretty fun. I'd say it's the lesser of the two shows that we've got, but it's definitely the more popular. Can't argue that.
Weird how that happens. And have yourself a paymentful double dose.
I have some cash for you. Double dose. Fuck.
Expect more of that coming this DocMas.
God damn it.
Ciao, ciao.
Adios.
Heroes, they always fight for what is right. Live with danger and adventure, they are men of might.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.